It's Tuesday, June 20th, and time for your Barbados Today morning news update. Glad you can join us. I am Fernella Wedderburn. We begin with a strong criticism over the statement issued by the Royal Barbados Police Force following Sunday night's incident at Pirates Cove. Police say an investigation into the video making the rounds on social media showing an officer kicking a civilian on the ground is currently underway, but the force must first try to determine if the individual in uniform is a member of the force. However, attorney Andrew Pilgrim QC all but ridiculed that statement, saying he knew some of the officers in the video. Therefore, the RBPF needed little time to identify the offender. The prominent lawyer is calling for those involved to be dealt with swiftly. And if this is not done, he says both the Commissioner of Police and the Attorney General should step down.
This kind of thing cannot be countenanced. There must be a zero tolerance attitude to that type of behavior. And if the commissioner has seen the video and he acknowledges that a police officer is carrying on in that fashion, he should say, I'm going to investigate this immediately, suspend all the parties who are there and are complicit in it. And if he does not do that, he should resign forthwith. With all due respect to the Commissioner of Police, it cannot take them more than half an hour to find out if that person is a member of the Royal Barbados Police Force. Because he's certainly acting in concert with other people I can identify as members of the Royal Barbados Police Force. So even if he is not a member of the Royal Barbados Police Force, he's still members of the Royal Barbados Police Force. And either way, those that are assisting him and him, whoever he is, he needs to be charged, whether he's a member of the police force or not. So they need to show that they're sinking their teeth into this thing with a level of urgency, failing which one of them should have to go home.
Pilgrim is representing 26-year-old Dario Rico Stanton of Hearts Gap Christchurch, who is seen being kicked by the officer, as well as 22-year-old Romario Michel Quinton of 122 Cordia Drive, Warners Park, Christchurch. And he has served notice that he will be taking legal action on behalf of his clients against those involved. In other news, Finance Minister Chris Sinclair will today begin talks with critical stakeholders on the government's controversial budgetary proposals. Sinclair is set to meet with the Barbados Chamber of Commerce and the Barbados Private Sector Association about the National Social Responsibility Levy, which will raise from 2% to 10% in July. They will also examine the 2% levy on foreign exchange transactions and the increase in gasoline and diesel prices. Later in the day, the Finance Minister will also sit down with the International Business Association. And on Wednesday, the Barbados Manufacturers Association and the Barbados Hotel and Tourism Association will get a chance to air their views. The meetings will be attended by officials from the Central Bank, the Barbados Revenue Authority, and the Ministry of Finance. He recently suffered a public backlash after admitting that the Frundle Stewart administration must make an attempt to engage Barbadians more. But Culture Minister Stephen Lashley is still standing his ground. He told Barbados Today he made the comments in light of the public outcry to measures outlined in this year's budget. Lashley maintains it is clear that Barbadians want to be engaged on the financial measures given the impact on their lives. And he says government must not shy away from consulting with the people it serves.
In prior times, the black box mystery of the budget has been there, where you come into the house with a black box and nobody knew what was in the black box. Perhaps it is time now to expose somewhat what is in this proverbial black box before the budget is done. Receive the feedback of the public and to then plan more proactively and in a more informative way in relation to the impacts of budgetary measures. And I remain of that view. I think the information age has drastically altered how government function. People have access to instant information.
An assurance from the Barbados High Commissioner to the UK, Guy Hewitt, that Barbadians there will not cower in fear as the UK suffered its fourth terrorist attack in 4 months on Monday. A man attacked a Muslim mosque in North London, killing 1 and leaving 10 others injured. Hewitt told Barbados Today while Barbadians are vigilant, they are determined to defy the hate being perpetrated by some.
For me and for other Barbadians here resident in London, I would say that we are not willing to give into a culture of fear by becoming overly anxious about moving around If we do that, then the terrorists win. So we go about our daily lives, going to work, continuing to shop, going on public transport, going into public places, as we have done, to try to reassure ourselves and each other that life goes on in the midst of these dangerous and heinous crimes.
Meanwhile, Hewitt reported that no Barbadians were injured in last Wednesday's tragic fire in West London. 79 people were reported dead or presumed missing following the deadly inferno which engulfed the 24-story high residential tower in North Kensington. Hewitt lamented that there are unconfirmed reports that some Caribbean nationals perished. However, he urged Barbadians not to miss the lesson from the tragedy.
The Department of Communities and Local Government guidelines stipulate that cladding with a flammable core, like that used on Grenfell, was banned on buildings over 18 meters. Now, the Grenfell block was 67 meters high, so we realized that there were obvious failings, and it's important for us to realize, even at home in Barbados, when things go wrong, that things that go wrong don't just go wrong in small islands or small communities, but in big, developed countries, in major cities. You can have mistakes made that unfortunately lead to tragedy and loss of life.
There's regional and international news after this short break.
Good morning, Phillips & Company, may I help? Oh, certainly. One moment, please. Miss Phillips?
Yeah?
There's a lady on the line from the Nation newspaper who would like to speak with you.
The Nation? Will she go on?
Well, they're trying to sell us some ads.
Look, don't make me laugh this morning. Ads in the Nation? They're real expensive, and for one here, nobody ain't buying them papers no more. Nobody want to steal news. I hear reading Barbados Today online for free. So I tell she thanks for calling, but no thanks. We just advertising Barbados Today, families. Tell she is Barbados Today all the way.
Okay, I'll pass on the message. Mom, are you still there? Oh, she put it down.
The Barbados Today, news you can trust.
Tropical storm Brett turned to life just before 5 p.m. yesterday. The system is moving towards the west-northwest near 25 miles per hour and is expected to slow down over the next 48 hours. According to the Miami-based National Hurricane Center, on this track, Brett was expected to move near or over Trinidad and Tobago and the eastern coast of Venezuela last night or early today. Maximum sustained winds are near 40 miles per hour with higher gusts, and little change in strength is forecast during the next 12 to 24 hours. Authorities in Trinidad have announced that schools will be closed today, as well as government offices in Tobago. And further afield, there are reports that the American student who was released last week after being held in captivity for more than 15 months in North Korea has died. He is 22-year-old Otto Warmbier, who returned to the U.S. last Tuesday, but had reportedly been in a coma for a year. We get more in this CNN report.
The family says when he arrived in Cincinnati last week in a vegetative state, Warmbier's face looked anguished, but within a day, they say, his face changed. He was at peace, they say. Warmbier's doctors told reporters they'd discovered he had lost much of his brain tissue due to cardiopulmonary arrest, and that 2 brain scans sent by the North Koreans suggested he'd been in a vegetative state for at least 14 months.
The earliest images are dated April 2016. Based upon our analysis of those images, the brain injury likely occurred in the preceding weeks.
Experts say while they're surprised North Korea would allow an American being held to reach such critical condition, they say mistreatment in North Korean jails is not uncommon.
That's news, but for the very latest, visit our website at www.barbadostoday.bb. Also subscribe to our e-paper, email updates, and like us on Facebook. We're also on Izumi Media in bus terminals or screenplay at supermarkets and gas stations near you, or you can tune into Mix 96.9 FM. I'm Fernella Wedderburn. Good morning.